Mom versus the soap. When somebody frequently believes that every little ailment is a catastrophe, their loved ones eventually reach a crucial breaking point and they take the claim of illness with a grain of salt. They're just not so sure that they're buying that it's as bad as it's being claimed. Well, Mom is a self-confessed hypochondriac, and so this kind of happens sometimes where she claims something's not going right, and sometimes I guess we didn't take it very seriously. But she is a diabetic, and one Christmas Eve she was sitting home devouring homemade candies and zero restraint. She knew she shouldn't do it, but it was Christmas. Well, as the evening wore on, she started to feel a little odd. She tried to ignore the feeling and continued with the evening fun. By morning, she felt a little off, even more than yesterday. Nevertheless, it was Christmas Day. She had work to do. Turkey needed roasting, trimmings needed preparing, hungry family members who had been circling like starving buzzards needed feeding. So Mom pushed through, placing all the dishes down just in time for the swarm to dive in. Forks and knives clashing, food vanishing at alarming rates. Mom finally sat down, eager to eat as well. But that off feeling had gotten worse now, and something was definitely wrong. Every time she put food in her mouth, it fell right out. Now this was new. She joked that if this had happened more often as she was growing up, then she might be in better shape today. Determined, she pressed her lips together and improvised as best she could to continue eating. Within minutes, it became clear. She was losing feeling on the left side of her face. Standing abruptly, Mom made an announcement. "Everyone, I think I'm having a stroke. I'm driving myself to the hospital." Now, you might think this would spark concern, panics, gasps, questions about her well-being, but instead, her family barely reacted. Yeah, the only voices raised were about the food. "Is there more stuffing? Where's the rest of the gravy? What's for dessert?" And the most iconic response, "We'll have the car back by 4 p.m. because I have to go to work." Mom, exasperated, drove to the emergency room alone. There she sat on Christmas Day in the ER, waiting to be told that she was having a stroke and that her paralysis was going to spread all the way down the left side of her body. Finally, it was her turn. The nurse called her name. The doctor gave her good news and bad news. They advised that she was not having a stroke. That's good news. Instead, they quickly determined that her suffering was due to something called Bell's palsy. Now, Bell's palsy is not life-threatening, but it will cause half your face to sag, and you'll experience kind of paralysis. Their advice, Mom needed to keep her head and neck warm. This she took very seriously. By the time Dad got home from work, Mom had gone to bed wrapped up like an Arctic explorer preparing for sub-zero temperatures. She had a toque, she had a scarf, thick sweater, every possible layer she could find. Well, Dad came home from work, not realizing about the diagnosis or what was going on, took one look at her, bundled up underneath the blankets there, pulled the blankets back and quipped, "What? No mittens?" The next morning, Mom woke up completely paralyzed on the left side of her face. This was awful. She couldn't keep that side of her mouth closed. She'd lost feeling in one nostril and was completely incapable of blinking on that side. She thought to herself that maybe a hot shower might help. What she failed to consider was that she could no longer close her left eye. She was enjoying the shower. It was nice and warm. She reached over, put some shampoo in her hair, and began massaging it into her scalp. Unfortunately, within only a minute, the shampoo rolled down her forehead and into her open, paralyzed eye. As the burning soap ran into the eye, she started calling out. My brother, Matt, came running to the bathroom door in a panic. "What's wrong, Mom?" Desperate, she begged, "Run downstairs and get me your swimming goggles." The plan was simple. Goggles would keep the soap out of her eyes so she could resume showering without pain. Matt, utterly confused about why Mom was asking for goggles, dashed off to find them. But within seconds, he returned calling through the door. "I can't find the goggles, but I have the flippers and snorkel." Mom stood speechless and laughing. Her once serious health scare had officially become a full-blown circus act. And honestly, this was pretty much a standard operating procedure for Mom's life. I hope you enjoyed this story and that you'll come back for many more. Feel free to look below and click on that little square button that says subscribe on it. Feel free to push the little thumbs up button, and please tell all your friends. Bye for now.